Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to have a best of three against another content creator called Jayjeezer, and I'm very thankful that obviously he allowed me to record it and get the best of three out to you guys. If you don't know, he's another UFC content creator. I think he's sitting at around 650 subscribers. He's played some of the best UFC players. He's extremely high level, and I asked him for a best of three not long ago and we managed to get it done. But unfortunately, a recording issue happened on my end, and my gameplay didn't save, so I've had to screen record an unlisted YouTube video from Jayjeezer's channel and use it as footage, which is why there's no background audio. But thank you for letting me use the footage. I'm really thankful for that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get the video out to you guys. Unfortunately, where both the fights we had were so long in duration. The first round of this fight was cut off, unfortunately, but I believe, yeah, you can see the stats here. I believe I took that first round. I believe I had a knockdown, and then we started off at midway round two on the video, and I believe that was Jay's round. He done a very good job, and yeah, obviously he's using Corey Sandhagen. Yeah, I'm using Jose Aldo. I'm pretty sure he said that he never actually uses Corey Sandhagen, so he done a very good job with him. I believe in the first or second, I think it might have just not shown it on the gameplay, but he hit me with a really, really good flying knee, which is something you obviously expect when you're coming up against Corey Sandhagen. And yeah, he was extremely high level. He's definitely really good. He's exactly what I thought he would be. Obviously, I watch his content, so I knew the level he was at. And yeah, please make sure to check out his channel. It will definitely be linked in the description. Go over there, show love, because obviously he showed me love by allowing me to get this gameplay out to you guys. I am trying to get other content creators to record best of threes with me. Obviously, we had one with UFC Goated X22, now with Jayjeezer, and hopefully one soon with Jay MMA. But more into the gameplay here now. I was going to try to do live commentary, but it was too late on my end. I think it was around 2 in the morning when I was recording this. Obviously, I'm over in the UK, whereas Jay's over in America, so the time zones have been making it a lot harder to get this fight to happen. But fortunately, we found time, and I went with the Aldo pick because I wanted to really obviously work in leg kicks. I'm not the most confident Aldo user. I know he's got extremely good boxing, of course, and it's something that I did try utilize. Obviously, Sandhagen's going to have the reach advantage, which is something that I've got to be cautious of, and especially when he throws that straight. And he was catching me a lot with the front kick to the head as well, because obviously I was expecting him to go low and work my body. And one thing that you'll see that's really evident as the gameplay progresses is that JG's obviously really invested into the body and done a lot of damage to my body, which really limits my output. 'Cause obviously my gas tank's completely gone, and I invest a lot to the lead leg and to the head. So as the gameplay progresses, you will see how the fight plays out. Of course, as of right now, JG is definitely winning this round. He's getting the bigger strikes in, throwing a lot more output. I'm definitely not throwing as much this round. I'm very cautious of getting clipped. And I have watched his video before it's gone out. And one thing he did comment on was that I like to bobble my head a lot and move around. And that's something I don't tend to do. The only reason I was doing it is I was trying to get a feel for the connection, because obviously he's so far away. And I had noticed at points in the fight when I was inputting certain strikes or trying to move my head, there'd be a little delay. Nothing major, but obviously it's to be expected just because of the distance in countries. So I would move my head a lot before going into the pocket, and just to sort of counteract that if it does lag, it's not really going to throw me off. But you can see here we got the knockdown, and that probably won me the round. He done a phenomenal job up until that point, and the way the fight's going, it looks like it may be going into, the maybe a decision victory or decision loss. So getting that round, fighting for the round is extremely important. As you can see, he starts with this round super aggressive, and right now going into this, it could be anyone's fight. The championship rounds, of course, are going to be absolutely huge, and whoever really perseveres in these next two rounds is definitely going to end up winning the fight, unless they get a finish, of course. And one thing you see is I've resorted to throwing the inside leg kick rather than opting for a different leg kick, just because I've got a lot of damage on my right leg. Obviously, you couldn't see it at the time because I'm using Jayjeezer's gameplay rather than mine, but my right leg was really, really hurt, so it's something I had to be cautious with. But one thing that was very prevalent is that I had the slight speed advantage, but I had a massive power advantage, and he switches stances here, and I could tell he was less comfortable from the southpaw stance, so this was a good sign for me. As you can see, I'm really trying to work the body. He switches back, which is exactly what I was expecting, because as I was saying, I did notice when he switched stance that he wasn't feeling as confident. But right now we're both putting in a good work. This fight is an absolute war right now. We're both doing a lot of damage to each other. Hits me with a nice leg kick there, and I'm trying to remain calm. I'm trying to limit my combos. I know that his block's pretty low right now, so that's why he's not really entering into the pocket as much, because he knows I can shred it, just where I feel like I have that power advantage. But the same thing applies with me, is that my head health isn't in a great position. My body's really weak, and I'm sort of neglecting it right now. I'd rather him hit me to the body than go to the head, because I feel like whenever Aldo gets rocked, it takes him a long while to recover, and I don't want to run the risk of getting rocked and then him absolutely teeing off on me. So as you can see, he does get the stun there. We avoid the flying knee, thankfully. I knew he was going to throw it, and I don't know if that animation's meant to work to avoid the flying knees. I'm never certain. I know some people say that that shouldn't avoid the flying knee, but it was purposely done to avoid it. And then he slips back and hits him with an elbow, and that's one thing that was super, super clean, that he was doing a lot. And you'll see in the next fight also, is when he slips and he hits him with that elbow. I thought that was one of his best moves, for sure. The one thing I did notice that I can instantly, of course, improve on is that when he did rock me, he would just rip to the body. So if I throw an uppercut in there, it would have definitely stunned him back. And just to elaborate on some of the rules quickly, obviously it's a 5 round fight. It's hidden hard or not hidden, that's not really too important. For the first fight, the way it worked is we both agreed on a weight class to start with, and then the winner of this fight then picks the next weight class. Um, you can grapple if need be, but obviously we're both, as you can see, we're both really just trying to stand. If you knock your opponent down in like the center of the octagon, you can't jump on him and get a finish. Obviously, if you accidentally jump on, then you'll just get off. But if it is against the cage, you can jump on and try to get the finish, which is why when he knocked me down, you saw that he tried to finish me, and the same thing. I done the same thing when he went against the cage. So that's just to elaborate on the rules quickly, in case you guys wasn't sure. And as you can see, coming into the fifth here, I need a huge fifth round. He done an absolute number on me in the round before, and I believe at this current point, whoever wins this round will win the fight in decision, unless there is a finish before that point. So I'm trying to play this round super smart, super tactical. I'm going to really limit the number of strikes I throw, but I'm going to make them significant. I'm going to try to work his body and really go for that leg, and overall just mix things up. So as you can see, we're both gassed right now. I believe at this point in the fight, I did have worse stamina, if I'm remembering correctly. I think his stamina is slightly higher at the moment, and mine would be lower just because of the amount of body work he had done prior to this. He really, he really went hard on my body, and that's something that coming into the next fight I'm trying to take note of, is that he likes to rip the body. He doesn't go to the head so much in terms of kicking strikes, but he definitely ripped my body with the roundhouses, and we go up top there, and because we was in boxing range, it really didn't do the amount of damage it should have. If I was a little bit more back, that probably would have been a knockdown. He didn't see it coming, because that's the first time I went high. We get the stun here, throw the front kick to see if we could get the knockdown. I was expecting him to duck, and as you can see, I'm really putting on the pressure here. I tried to sneak in the elbow, because obviously he's been hitting me with the elbow, but he done a great job in ducking and avoiding that. And as you can see right now, I'd say the round's going in my favour. He switched to southpaw and then instantly switches back to orthodox. I could really see that he wasn't too comfortable fighting out of the southpaw stance, but I'm sort of trying to force him to fight out that stance just because of the work that I'm doing to his lead leg. So we're having good success in this round at the moment. And again, like I'm saying, it is the fifth. We're both really hurt. I'm trying to be patient. We get the knockdown here, which is big. get another knockdown. And now, as long as I play it smart and don't get hit with anything that could finish me, I am winning this round, as you can see, and this could overall win me the fight. And right here, it's about really trusting your judgment. I knew that coming into this, it was probably 2-2 on the rounds. Of course, you didn't see the first round, but I believe I won that round. And it's important that you trust yourself, because I could overcommit right now and really look for a finish and then get finished myself, only then to check the scorecards and realise that actually, I would have won that fight. So I'm being patient. As you can see, he did stun me, he caught me that beautiful flying knee. His leg is really deteriorating. There's only 20 seconds left right now, so as long as I'm not hit with anything massive, I should be okay. We get another knockdown. I believe that's the third of this round. He hits me to the body with a beautiful switch kick, and that is the fight. I believe that he doesn't show the scorecards, but I do believe, if I remember correctly off memory, that I did win by one round, which was the final round. So that's why it's very important to trust your judgment. And then hopping into the next fight, as you can see, I will be using Leon Edwards and he'll be using Wonderboy. And it's important to note that whoever won the first fight could then pick the weight class for the second fight. And obviously I picked welterweight. And I was interested to see that he picked Wonderboy, because, I don't know, I just wasn't expecting it. Whenever I sort of go Leon, I see people go Jorge Masvidal a lot, just because it's a sort of better matchup in a sense. Although Wonderboy is very good, and obviously when it comes to striking, he's super crisp, I just feel like Leon has that advantage. Jay also did tell me that he doesn't really use Wonderboy, he was just picking him to sort of try him out. So he does a good job, as you'll see throughout the fight. We already got the stun, and one thing that obviously I needed to learn from the fight prior was that I need to do a better job in catching him when he goes to the body. So that's something that I was trying to pride myself on this fight. I'll be trying to sneak in more uppercuts to clip him on the way in. And I really like using Leon Edwards. He's just super clean. And if you watch me, you know that I'm always going to try to take out my opponent's leg. We done an okay job last fight using Aldo, but it could have been a lot better. I feel like whenever you do use players that are very known for their leg kicks, like the Justin Gaethjes and the Jose Aldos, Marlon Moraes, the people just constantly block low because they're expecting it, which is, it's understandable. So I sometimes find that I have better success actually implementing leg kick game plans when I'm using people or fighters that don't or are not well known for using their leg kicks. So Leon Edwards obviously has very good leg kicks, and yeah, but a lot of people don't expect me to throw as much leg kicks as I do with Leon. As you can see, he's knocked me down twice, and he caught me beautifully. Like, that is just, it's all credit to him. Beautiful. I was throwing the leg kick, and he timed that absolutely perfectly. So he did get the 2 knockdowns there. But if you look at my head health, whenever it does flash up, my head health's still in a pretty good position. I'm not really too worried. The way I opt to fight with Leon is I'm super, super patient. My first round's normally my worst round, so I know that obviously building on as the fight goes on, I should progress and grow into the fight. I should make the necessary reads. And with Leon, I play a super patient approach. I'm not really trying to rush into anything. It's just like the way he is in real life. He's very calculated. He's very smart. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he doesn't want to do. And that's exactly what I'm trying to implement here. I'm trying to pick up on reads, and the one thing I have noticed is that I can really rip to that leg. The uppercut is landing. I've got to be careful in case he hits me with any of those spinning attacks. And he's very planted, as you can see. And when you're planted, you actually throw strikes faster, I believe. We avoid that clinch attempt there, which, to be fair, I was surprised he was going to clinch or initiate a clinch using Wonderboy. But I suppose he just wants to mix in those knees. So at the end of round 1, it's clear that Jay definitely won that fight, that round, sorry, because he got the 2 knockdowns. And yeah, that's just great work from him. But I believe that overall in that round, I had a lot of success. As you can see, very, very similar stats there. I meant to do the respect thing here, but it looked like I was taunting him. I didn't want him to think that, I was just trying to taunt him there. So coming into round 2, obviously, I've got to be extremely careful. I don't want to get caught with anything again, because obviously a knockdown really does change the course of the fight. Obviously, with how the first fight went, going to a decision victory, that you know that knockdowns are going to be very important throughout the rounds, because you can have an amazing round and then one knockdown really steals it. So that's something that I'm trying to be very cautious of. He's come out a bit more aggressive this round, so I'm going to look to try push him back. And again, I'm sorry there's no audio, that's just a mistake on my end. Whenever I screen record on my laptop, it doesn't pick up the audio, but next video I do, they'll be back to having audio. It's sort of like we're fighting in the apex right now. And you can see I'm trying to sneak in that uppercut. He's been a lot more aggressive this round, which is something I noticed. Obviously, we can both see each other's HUD, so we can see where the stamina levels are at. And I could feel that there was a big power advantage when we're going into these interactions, when we're both crossing paths. I feel that Leon had the slight power advantage. And I think here he actually had to do something and drop his controller, so apologies, I didn't realise, obviously we weren't talking to each other at the time. I didn't realise that he wasn't actually throwing. So, again, sorry for that. Luckily, it wasn't anything that done too much damage. Imagine if I threw a head kick and, ended up getting a knockout and he wasn't even playing that. Wouldn't have been ideal, but we've really done a great job of taking out this lead leg. And right now, the combinations are flowing. I'm growing in confidence, and I can see he's blocking low a lot more. Went to hit him with a teep there. He jumps on top by accident. Get up, and I noticed that every time I get up from a position on the ground, he does like to go high. Unless it's when it's a stun, then he'll rip me to the body. So this is stuff that I've started to pick up on. Beautiful little sway there. Then we threw a double hook. Obviously, when I landed the first one, he was probably expecting me to go to the body, so I opted not to go to the body and then go to the head again. And we got the knockdown. And this has been a very good round as of now, as long as nothing changes and I don't get hit with anything wild. This should be quite a clear 10-9 round. If I get even a couple more knockdowns, maybe even a 10-8, but we don't really know how the judges score it on the game. It's a bit hit and miss, but we've taken control of this fight at the moment. I know that leg's there and it's there to be get, so I'm going to try, where possible, aim for that leg. But like you can see, I'm being extremely patient. I feel like this is how you've got to use Leon. You've got to be very technical, very smart, and don't mistake technical for not being active, because that's just not how it works. I am going to throw, I am going to be active, but everything I'm throwing is with an intention. It's either a setup or I'm picking my shot. And as you can see, we land a good front kick to finish that round. Caught him flush with that. And now coming into round 3, I believe he won the first because of the 2 knockdowns. I definitely took charge of the second, and I'm just going to look to build off the success I had and really now just dictate how this fight goes. I'm going to keep pushing him back, keep him against the cage ideally, so he can't really move and sway side to side. I'm going to float in and out of the boxing and kickboxing range. I'm having a lot of success in the boxing range right now just because his head health's really low, and I feel like I've got the power advantage. I feel that the speed advantage is there for Wonderboy when it comes to Leon, but the power advantage was huge in the pocket. But you can see that I'm sort of floating in and out, and I'm trying to bait an attack from his legs when I'm in kickboxing range, and just slightly move out of range so he wastes that stamina, and then I'll sneak in and throw a shot, which is something that I feel like I've done a better job of this fight, was really drawing out the attacks. The head movement in this fight was better as well. As you can see, that leg's gone, and I know that he's not going to change stance right now. I don't think he's as comfortable out of the southpaw stance, and I don't know if that's just because of Wonderboy, but he did have the same problem with Sandhagen in the fight before. So it's something that I picked up on, and it's something that I'm going to use to my advantage. And that's exactly why I look to take out that leg, because taking out that leg's eventually just going to get me easy knockdowns or force him to switch stance. And again, we're floating in and out of ranges. We're doing a very good job. He does a good job there of swaying. He faked going low, then went low in the end. And now, as you can see, we're just ripping through the block, roundhouse to the body. And as you can see, I'm not being over eager, just flowing right now. And I went for a hook, and he swayed back and clipped me. And like I said, that's one of his one of the things he done best throughout these fights, is he'd always catch me with that. And that's something that I've definitely taken note of, and I'm going to look to improve on, is not get caught with the pull counters. I normally do quite a good job of it, but evidently in this fight and the fight before, I didn't do a great job at all. But right now, like I said, we are in control of this fight. I'm really looking just to draw out a taxi. He goes for the question mark. I fake it. I probably should have actually thrown it because I believed it would have landed. And I noticed that his hands were low. So it's something that I picked up on. And I kept in mind that, okay, I can probably catch him with a question mark kick. Bang, we catch him there. We get another knockdown. We get a knockdown again. And the reason I didn't go for the cage finish there and I go for it here was because of the head health difference. I really thought I could get my opponent out. And this is one thing we didn't specify on, so obviously we said we can get finishes against the cage, but I didn't know if I was on top on, so say I go for the cage finish, I end up in top mount, could I go for the finish? And I didn't want to get him out of the fight like that, and then, it's just a miscommunication, so I opted just to get up. So that's why you'll see that whenever I go to ground, even though going to ground is allowed, I don't look for that finish, I just get up instead and look to get a clean finish on the feet, or just, a nice little finish on the ground. So coming into this round, we're now in round 4, and yeah, we had a very solid round the round prior. Definitely done some very good work, and in this round here, I'm looking to build off of that. The main goal of this round, to be honest with you, was to really rip his stamina. I know the leg's done, which means that his power output's going to be slightly less. Whenever you take out the lead leg, or your opponent's legs in general, the power they transmit through their punches really weakens. And I feel they move a bit slower, but obviously that may just be because of my opponent's gas tank. So I'm really going to try and make him miss a lot of shots this round. I'm going to really force the interactions, get him to throw even when he doesn't want to, and just rip up that gas tank. And then in the 5th, probably look to get a finish if possible, unless it presents itself this round. But the main goal of this round was to really take away my opponent's stamina. And obviously, we've had a knockdown from ducking that question mark kick, and it's going to take, like right now in the position that my opponent's in, he can still easily finish me, because if you see the stamina, it's relatively the same. Obviously, my opponent's head health is very, very low. There's no denying that. And his leg health is non-existent also. And as you can see, I'm sort of just ripping away. But you've got to be very cautious and not really deviate from your game plan. Because if I rush into a finish and he catches me with an elbow, and then say catches me with a big kick, and then knocks me out, it'd be entirely my fault, because I've gone in there to try to rush a finish that then hasn't worked. So it's something I was cautious of. I don't want to be, I don't want to overcommit. I don't want to be over eager, and I don't want to get too comfortable, because once you get too comfortable, you'll end up getting hit by something. So I'm really trying to stay locked in. I'm trying to draw out attacks from my opponent. I'm trying to counter off of his attacks, to be honest. I don't really want to be the sole aggressor. I'd like him to throw and then me intercept and catch him with something. So obviously while he's throwing, his stamina will be lower, so it will be easier to get a finish. So that was really my mindset behind it. His leg is really, really done right now. As you can see, he goes for a big kick there. We work the body with a body uppercut, and that's something that I introduced this fight. Obviously, Aldo's got amazing shots to the body, so it's something that I really probably should have implemented more in the fight prior. But the main difference is that you've got to really know the fighters you're fighting against. Sandhagen with the flying knees, I didn't want to work the body too much and get caught with something, because I got caught with that a lot in the fight prior. So coming into here, I don't have to worry about that too much against Wonderboy. And as you can see, there's 9 seconds left for an extremely dominant round here. Went to throw the roundhouse to the body, which he catches. And we are into round 5 yet again. So the first fight went to decision. This fight's gone to round 5. So it's pretty evident that me and Jayjeezer, we're on the same level. These fights really get taken and drawn out into the 4th and 5th rounds. There's not really any quick finishes, and there's just been wars, to be honest with you. And he catches me with that pull elbow again, which is something that I said I was trying not to get caught by, but he sneaks in well. His stamina right now isn't in a great position, and this is when I noticed, like, okay, look, if I really want to, I can really press for a finish now. My stamina's slightly higher, and I'm not too worried about getting hit with anything big. switch stances now. He's fighting out the southpaw stance, so in my head he's not as confident. But that's not going to stop me from ripping into this leg either. You've really got to keep the leg attacks in there. It's just a great way of chaining combinations together and giving your opponent a different read. And as you can see, lighting up that leg again. He's sort of trapped against the cage. He doesn't really have the stamina to do too much right now. We get the front kick knockdown there. And as you can see, this is where I'm trying to close the show. He's hurt, and then we go for an uppercut and we get the finish. So Jayjeezer's channel link is in the link below. He's going to upload the video, I believe, at the same time as me, but check out his channel. A really good guy. I really appreciate him for doing this. And that was the video for today. Please like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.